Today on the Chat and Chew Show.
But mind you, if this were regular times, we would get in our car, drive to work, sit at our desk for 8 hours, get back in our car and drive home. Like, no one would be outside. But it's like, you gotta stay in. And it's like, oh, I'll go outside and play. Hey everybody, it's your girl Roxanne, and today I'm making a fancy mango berry smoothie.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Chat and Chew Show. I'm your host, Betty.
And I'm Roxanne.
Roxanne is in the back doing the dancing. And as you guys know, this show is designed to empower you to do relationships better. And if you're honest, like all of us, you're in some type of relationship. You're married, you're single, you're divorced, you're widowed.
It's complicated. Quarantine and chill.
No matter on the sphere, this show is. What you think about that? The sphere.
The whole sphere.
Whole sphere. This show is designed to give you tips and tools to make your life better. Now, you guys, you know, most of the time, Roxanne and I are in the same room, but because of the coronavirus, we're having to do this through Zoom. And I'm going to apologize up front because I have little ones in my house and we're home. So you might hear some little ones, or you might see some faces, or you might hear my husband yelling, "Boy, I say get down." But that's a part of being at home during this time. So this is going to be an exciting show, so you don't want to miss it. So hey. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at the Chat and Chew Show. We are super excited that you are joining us. We're just hopped on Zoom real quick, and Roxanne and I are going to be talking about some things that you can do to make sure you stay connected with people in your, I can use the word sphere. I don't even know.
It's a nice word.
It's a nice word. It just rolls off the tongue. So, Roxy, you're at home, and right before we started airing, you said you've been talking to more people than in your real life. What is happening?
Well, because you know, and I think we were just talking about, like, we're both introverts, right? So that's funny that we're introverts on a talk show. And so what happens is, like, normally if I'm out and about, you know, I see people all day, and then I get home and I'm like, I just want for everything to be peaceful. I barely want to talk on the phone, any of that, right? Yeah. And so, like, I have, like, that cutoff of, like, all right, now it's me time. But since I've been home, of course, everyone wants to check on each other, which is great. And then you hear from people that you haven't heard from in a long time. And then just everyone has time. Like, we all have time to finally make that call. Like, the person you were like, yeah, girl, we got to get up. Now you're like, oh, I guess I have time. Let me call you now.
What's happening? I know, even with me, like you said, I'm an introvert too. And my job is I'm with people all the time. And so when I come home, even though there's people in my house, I still need a moment just to gather my thoughts. And so next thing you know, it's 9:00 at night. You've been thinking about somebody, be like, I'll call them later. And it's always, I'll call them later. Or you see someone in the street and you're like, hey, we need to connect, you know? And so, and it's like, yeah, when? You want to do it in October? You know, and it's May, right? But now all of us have time to get together with, you know, our friends and stuff. And so it's just the craziest thing that being able to, even me being an introvert, I've texted people that I haven't heard from in years, literally, just to see how they're doing. You know, because this can be a scary time for people, you know, especially if you're single or, you know, by yourself, and you can tend to feel isolated.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I struggle with that the first, because what's now, it's been like 3 weeks or so now, right? So I struggle with that, like, around the second week. Like, the first week I was like, all right, you know, you kind of brace yourself from the shock of everything. And then the second week it settles in that I'm going to be home alone. And so I kind of, I was like, oh, I'm going to be home alone. So it's no longer the extrovert escaping to try to be by myself. It's now like, this is what you have. And so you have no choice. And so I definitely had to learn some new habits and reevaluate some things. But it's a cool time. Like, I think it's funny that everyone is like way more active, like in terms of their physical health now than ever. Like, people are like, we can't go for a walk, and it's like, but you never went for a walk when you could. So
it's crazy.
Yes.
See, like the people in my neighborhood, like the whole neighborhood is out, like 500 people. Now, I thought they told us to stay home, but everybody, the park is closed down. Everybody is out. They just jump in the barricade and go into the park anyway.
But mind you, if this were regular times, we would get in our car, drive to work, sit at our desk for 8 hours, get back in our car and drive home. Like, no one would be outside. But it's like, you gotta stay in. And it's like, oh, I'll go outside and play. That's what I'll do. I'll go for a walk.
Yeah, we're in some really, really crazy times. Just some crazy times. I work in a position where I still have to go to the office every day, and I'm around people who, they are in healthcare, and so they are attending to people who are assisted living. They need some help, and just to see how the people in the program, they are just stir crazy because they want to get outside. And it's just a crazy thing. But to protect them, they need to keep them inside. But from watching them, knowing how it's feeling just to be stuck in the house. So I can imagine why people are just like, I know they said stay in, but I'm going to go outside and get some fresh air anyway and all of that. But
I'm inside forever. Like, let me go out and get the last fresh air, and then I'll go in. I promise.
Yeah.
So what are they doing at your center to help people with dealing with that, considering that they probably can't go outside?
So that's part of my role, is to help them, kind of stay connected to, the outside world, if you would. But you got to be really careful, because you don't want to bring in because I'm coming from the outside, so you don't want to bring anything in. So they're very, very careful about that. Like, they're not letting anybody in. Like, the mailman can't come in. Like, that kind of thing.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like, we're really protective.
But yeah, so I wanted us to get on here and just kind of talk through, because there could be people who are struggling with this whole thing with isolation. And the reason I say that is because we say, the show is designed to empower you to do relationships better. And sometimes when you don't have time, if your relationship is all messed up, then you just keep neglecting. And now here we find ourselves where you need people. You need to be in community, but if your relationships are messed up, you know what I mean? Like, you've been feuding with your family members, and now I need my family members during this time, right? Or you've been feuding with your neighbor or whatever. We need each other during this time.
Neglected relationships. Maybe you just, like we said, we didn't have time, so you never called that person, and you guys just grew apart, just out of just not having time.
Yeah.
But now you need it.
I guess
It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but didn't have time. So now we have time. And so you might be feeling like, okay, now that we have time, how do I reconnect with people? Now, kids, they do this so well. Kids do it well. Because I have twin boys who are 6 years old, and they just will walk up to you like, you want to be my friend? You my friend? Are you my friend? Are you my friend? Okay, we're friends. Let's just go get on the playground, right? Adults, we don't do that. So just maybe helping people think about ways that they can maybe reconnect, with their loved ones and things like that. Because you don't have to be alone, even though you are alone. You know what I mean? You could have still start building deep and authentic relationships again now, since we have time.
So much time. But it's funny. It's funny you say that about the kids, because I was watching a TED Talk. This was a while ago, like maybe a couple years ago, and the guy was actually talking about how kids can do that. And they go, hi, my name is John, and I like the color blue. And you go, me too. And then you're friends, right?
Yeah.
And he says, the thing about that is, when we become adults, we lose that ability, like you're saying. But part of it, his hypothesis is, like, part of that is that we also lose the ability to be honest like that. To be able to say, "Hi, my name is Roxanne, and I like the color pink." We're not. Kids are just honest.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's almost like while we're home alone, whatever, if we can kind of be honest, what did make that relationship fall apart? And can we reconnect by saying, you know what, I know I messed this up or whatever. I know we fought, but I was really afraid that this was going to happen. I thought you were trying to take advantage of me, you know, or whatever it is. Just be honest about that. And it's similar to the little kid going, "My name is John. I like the color blue."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Yeah. Wow. That's really good. Yeah. That's not easy. You know, because you want to save face, I think, especially if you were in the wrong, because I'm so thinking about myself. I was like, okay, wait a minute now. I connected with my sister today, and I haven't talked to her in a long time. And it's the same thing, you know, I haven't been this big sister that I should have been in her life. And again, life, busy, disconnected, you know, those kinds of things. But she just popped in my mind, and I just sent a simple text. But you're right, I need to think more deeply about how I can reconnect with her in a more personal way so that we can open that relationship up again, you know. But
we have a lot of talks on the surface. I feel like with the people that mean the most to us.
Yeah.
And we're always trying to peel back the layer of the surface. Like, what did it mean when they said this? You know, we haven't talked in 2 years, and she said, "How you doing?" What she mean by that? We're trying to like relearn each other and figure out, okay, did you mean just how you doing, or you want to make up, or do you know you were wrong when you said how you doing? It's like so deep.
We're just adding all this baggage to it. They just said how you doing, but that's crazy, cool. Yeah. All right. So when we come back, we're gonna give you a couple of things that you can think about on how you can reconnect. I know Roxy like just dropped the mic, like, "Boo, let's be honest." I was thinking more of little, small, simple things where your ego and pride still be intact. No, I'm joking.
Like, figure it out. Bye. See you next week.
So hold on, and on the opposite side of the break, we're going to give you some things that you can think about of how you can reconnect with family and loved ones and anyone in your sphere.
Now, a delicious word. Let's choose.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Roxanne, and today I'm making a fancy mango berry smoothie. I got this idea because I've been attending some virtual happy hours, and I was thinking to myself, what are some things that I can do with my food to make it a little more fun while I'm at home? Because I'm also practicing social distancing, like you all may be as well. So I'm using a frozen fruit mix that I got from the store. It's a mixture of mango, blueberry, and strawberries, and I'm going to use that in this smoothie. And I'm using 3 cups of that. I'm also going to use a cup of milk, and you can use whatever kind of milk that you'd like. I'm using a vanilla flavored cashew milk that's unsweetened. And then you can also use some flaxseed. And flaxseed is high in fiber, so you may want to go light on the flaxseed, maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons. I'm using a little bit more, like around 3, because I'm used to eating it. Also, flaxseed comes in a ground form as well. And you may want to use that if you don't want the grittier taste. I happen to like the crunch of the seeds myself, so I'm actually using the whole seeds. So once you have your ingredients together, all we're going to do is throw that all into our blender. So I'm throwing my milk and flax seeds in, and then adding in my fruit on top, and then we're just going to go ahead and blend that all together. Once you blended it together, and here's the fancy part, we're going to grab a wine glass. So grab your favorite wine glass or just fancy cup or whatever it may be. And we're going to put in this smoothie mixture in there. And it should come out pretty thick if you use the similar measurements. And so we're going to go ahead and scoop that into our glass. And once it's in there, just to add another little touch of fanciness to it, I'm adding some dark chocolate chips to the top of my smoothie. And so those are cool because it looks cute on top. And then also it's like a nice little surprise once you start eating it. And the dark chocolate is going to be mild. And because it's gonna marry to those berries a little well. It won't come off too harsh or a different taste, too much of a different taste. So once you have that in there, you put your scoop, you add your spoon in, and then you're good to go. So give it a try and let me know what you think. I really love the nutty flavor of the flaxseed mixed with the punch of those berries and mango, and just that surprise of the chocolate sprinkles. So give it a try, let me know what you think, and until next time.
All right, well, welcome back. And like we say all the time, wasn't that delicious? I don't even know. Roxanne, how did you even learn how to cook like that?
My mama. Yeah, my mom.
Oh, nice.
Yes, my mom cooked every night. Like, she cooked breakfast for us in the morning, and then she cooked every night, and I used to sit there as a kid and talk her head off the entire time she cooked, because I was like the kid that was shy in school, so I didn't say a word in school, and then I would get home and talk my mom's ear off the whole time she cooked dinner. But you know, just learning, you know, being around it and like learning, I was like my mom's little sidekick, so I'd be with her at the grocery store picking stuff up, you know, and then come home and she'd make stuff, and then on the weekends she'd be like, okay, y'all go down and fix whatever for yourself until I wake up, and that kind of thing. So my mom.
Wow.
I'm impressed. Like my mom can cook really good, and my sister could cook really good, but I never paid attention. I should have. I used to sit in the living room until they got it done, and then sit and eat. But so, what was your favorite? What was one of your favorite dishes that your mom made?
That my mom made. My mom made this shrimp orzo pasta. That's so good. And it's funny. I need to find that recipe. It's so good. But it's shrimp orzo pasta, and like tomato. It's like that tomato basil mix and everything with feta cheese and everything in there. It's just and like some lemon squeezed in, everything. And it's like, I love my meals like in a bowl, like where you can eat everything at one time. And that was just so good. It was like that. She made some cream salmon that I loved, and then this, believe it or not, a sweet potato and beef dish. Because my mom got this Asian cookbook. Yeah, she got this Asian cookbook like this thick, and just would go through and cook stuff out of there. So we ate all kinds of stuff. But yeah.
Cool. Oh man, that sounds good.
Well, again, thank you guys. Welcome back. Maybe you got to do that shrimp and orzo recipe one time.
Oh, I'm gonna find it, because man, that thing is good.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, so as promised, we're gonna give you guys some tips and some things to think about and to reconnect to some of your people. I was thinking my list is gonna be so simple, so hopefully this will be helpful. One way, you guys already know, is you can do Zoom. That's what we're doing right now. We're
demonstrating
how that can be done. The thing that I like about Zoom is that you can see the person you're talking to, and you're also on the screen with them. And so, like Roxy said, if you're going to get ready to have this deep conversation, you want to do it face to face. But because we're doing social distancing, you're not going to actually go to their house. So this is one of the ways that you can reconnect. Let me tell you, if you need to have a serious conversation with someone or a reconnecting kind of conversation, it's best to do it like this, as opposed to texting.
Oh my goodness. Please don't text anything deep to somebody and hope they figure it out.
Texting.
Emailing something deep. Because I will read into it what I think you're saying, especially if we ended kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like if the last time I talked to you was kind of, and now you sending me a text like, how you doing? Because I may read into it like you like,
mean, how you doing?
What you mean, how you doing? See, that's how
good would read it. It's like, no, I just meant, how are you doing? But I'm reading it all wrong, and it's just adding fuel to the fire, right? So if you're going to have a serious conversation, Zoom is one way. So can you tell us, what do you need to do Zoom?
Is it just a computer?
You just need a computer or a phone and the internet. So Zoom also has an app that you can download. I know they have one for iPhone. They probably have one for Android too. But yeah, it has an app for the phone as well. And once you sign into that, you get 40 minutes free if it's more than like 3 people or more. But I think if it's like one-on-one, you get a little bit more time now that they've given more time because of COVID-19 for one-on-one talks. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so you at least get 40 minutes free. And I Zoomed with my parents and my brother and sister and their kids.
Nice.
Like 2 nights ago. It was really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're able to see your niece and everything?
Yes, and my niece and nephew, and they just like stare at the screen. And my brother, the funny thing, my brother is saying they do Zoom for their class too. Sometimes they'll like have like a play date for the kids, right, over Zoom. And he said they all say hi, 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 and then they just sit and stare at each other because they don't know what to do. Because even their kids normally play, so they're just like hi, 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 and they just stare.
Yeah, cool. So that's one way you can connect with your family. Now, if you have a senior citizen in your home, they may not be, or in another home, they may not be familiar with how to do this because it can be scary. I'm not a senior citizen quite, but Zoom is scary. No. Another thing is FaceTime. You guys already know all of this. You know, you just pick your phone up and there's a button on your phone. This is so elementary that you press it, ask, do you want to do FaceTime call, right?
Yes.
Okay. They have
FaceTime. Have an iPhone though, right?
FaceTime is iPhone only. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's iPhone to iPhone actually for FaceTime.
Okay.
So that's another way that you can reconnect with someone. Again, if it's, you know, something serious, this is how you want to do it. You want to be able to talk to them face to face. Even if it's not serious, I would say, you know, it'd be nice for you to just to see the person and to see how they're doing.
It's nice to see those facial expressions and everything, and because I think when you're not around people for a while, you forget even how they move and stuff like that. And so
that's
sometimes
true.
it's like cool to see that, and it's like oh, like you didn't know you missed it sometimes.
That's true.
The facility that I work in, an assisted living facility, because families aren't able to come in and visit their loved ones, we've been doing a lot of FaceTime calls. And so they can see, and the calls are like literally like 2-3 minutes because the people are just like, I just wanted to see you, you know? And so this is just another good way to stay connected to someone. So again, to me, if you're going to talk to someone about something serious, you want to do it like this. Now, Roxanne did tell me about this practice that young people do, and it's called ghosting. So that leads us to the next one, texting. So when someone texts you,
I was like, how is ghosting part of this list?
Which leads us to
this one is to send a text. You know, we have a good friend right now in our life who is a young person, and we're trying to check on them to see how they're doing, and they won't text back. So I had to use, I had to strong arm. So I text his wife, and I'm like, tell him, because it's like he's like a son. Tell him and then her response to me was like, well, he's busy, and I'm like, he can send a text.
But it's a 2-second text.
Not even 2 minutes.
I'm good.
I told her to tell him just to do a thumbs up.
like my message that I just sent. Just like it.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
So if someone texts you, I would say text them back, you know.
Now, because people are likely worried about you. Yes. They may be saying hello, but really going, are you alive? Are you sick?
Yeah.
You know, so just say hi.
And a simple text that says something like, y'all good? That's you good? That took 10 seconds. You good, right? 10 seconds.
Seriously, because everyone's worried right now, so you just want to ease everyone. And then it's good to have those people that care about you. You know, so you don't
true.
want to take them for granted. You want to be like, oh, thanks for checking on me in some sort of way.
Yeah. Just
a thumbs up, I'm okay, or something. Let them know. Don't leave them hanging, because then you're gonna have to rebuild that relationship. It's like, I text you during the coronavirus and you never did, and now we're in the streets fighting. You know, because you never text me back. By the streets fighting. Now, this is the one that I find so interesting, that people don't want a phone call. Like, you call someone, like, right, my son is in the background right here. Stick your head over here, son.
I felt all kinds of guilty. I was like, oh, people.
I got my do-rag on.
You're being recorded, son.
Oh.
So, we call him, he'll pick up the phone like, why you calling me? Oh! So most young people, is that true, Kaylin?
Huh?
Most young people don't want you to call them?
I think things have changed because of this.
Oh.
People like FaceTime now. That's
Okay, so that's what you're talking about, yeah.
Interesting, because young people like to text and FaceTime, which to me are very two big extremes. Because I'm just like, how did we skip past the call to now you're seeing my face? Like, I'm just not, I'm like, what? I'm not sure how that works.
Maybe someone who's in the older age group would appreciate a phone call, you know? Yeah, instead of texting them, which makes me think.
People are doing phone calls now that we're stuck inside, like more actual phone calls than ever.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I could say text is easy, and FaceTime would be better to see them. So I can see how a phone call would be, you know, like, I don't know. But calling someone, that's another way you can reconnect. I'm just thinking about my dad. I need to call him and not send a text, because we will text all day. I'll just text him, he'll text me back. Yeah, so calling will be better. All right, this is a funny one. This is what my husband said, which we actually do. Stand outside their window and wave.
Okay, that could also be creepy. Like, okay, that
you
means
gotta know you're coming.
And what time of day are we doing? So let's do this when there's daylight out. Let's not wave when it's like dark. Just
with a clown suit on.
People feel like they're in a horror movie. Like, what is happening? And you're just like.
But you let them know when you're coming. You know, I'll be there at 12 in the afternoon. You know, again, and just we're doing good. Now, you know, some churches are doing drive-through church.
Face was like messed up before you even finished. I was like,
well, I don't know about it, but it could be that people just want, that's their way of meeting each other at the window, if you would. You know what? I see you. We're kind of close, but not really close. But I don't know. Apparently, you're thinking that that's a strange idea.
just an interesting one. It's
an interesting one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have gotten on a Zoom call personally.
Yeah, that's true.
As opposed to driving, yeah, because you still got to roll down the window and stick your head out, shake your hand. Right. Then here we go. Bring it back. I know. Once it's out, it's out. No way you can get it back. So
That's just a little interesting for me.
Yeah.
But you know what people also are doing are online like happy hours and dating. So like you get on like Zoom or something like that, and then you have like a drink, like you're at a happy hour. So they have their own wine. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Again,
still, you're feeling connected to someone and the outside world. You're not just by yourself. Oh, you are stalling. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cause my I've done it once or twice, and then I know my sister-in-law, like, they had a scheduled one too. I think like on a Friday night or something. So yeah, it's just, I think it's also if you have like your friends, your group of friends, and you guys normally get together for different things. That's just the way to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, well, that's it. Again, we just wanted to jump on here and with our social distancing chat and chew show today, just to kind of talk through that you don't have to do life alone, that you can still do life in community, and there's so many options that you can choose. So I'm just going to just say, don't do this by yourself. Don't just hang in your house by yourself, feeling some kind of way. You take the first step to try to rebuild relationships, because we're all going to be better and healthier and stronger when all of this is over. So, Roxy, did you want to say a couple last words?
Yeah, I would just say, if you're thinking about that person, go ahead and reach out. Like, don't even wait, because we don't know what tomorrow brings, and so it's just, everyone would be happier to know that someone was thinking of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will
Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Chat and Chew Show.
All right.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Next time on the Chat and Chew Show, Ask the Coach.
This show was brought to you by the Chat and Chew Company. Music by Elwood Jones. Lyrics by Roxanne. Bring a Chat and Chew live event to your organization. Contact us at chatandchewshow@gmail.com.